spanning the globe to bring you the constant variety of sport, the thrill of victory, and the agony of defeat. The human drama of athletic competition. This is ABC's Wide World of Sports.
Brought to you by Lincoln Mercury. Nobody has more kinds of cars or more kinds of people. See them at the sign of the cat. By Goodyear, makers of the custom Steel Guard radial tire. And by State Farm Mutual. Almost anywhere you live, there's a State Farm agent nearby. Like a good neighbor, State Farm is there.
Related to the Cowboys, Adam Schefter, what's going on with Micah Parsons?
Laura, a situation that had been simmering came to a head this afternoon when All-Pro edge rusher Micah Parsons announced that he personally had requested a trade from Stephen Jones and the Dallas Cowboys. He wants to be done with Dallas right now, and he laid out factually in his mind a slew of factors as to why he no longer wants to be with the team that he and his father grew up rooting for. And at its root, essentially, is a failed contract negotiation in which he feels like the Dallas Cowboys got him in a room to talk about leadership, wound up in a negotiation. The Cowboys felt like they had a deal. Micah Parsons did not. He had his agent call there. His agent obviously said there's no deal. And there's been no contact in recent months about a contract at a time where we've seen Max Crosby get paid. We've seen Myles Garrett get paid. We've seen TJ Watt get paid. And we have not seen Micah Parsons get paid. Not only have we not seen him get paid, we haven't seen or heard about any conversations between the two sides. And we've said this all week long. But essentially the sides right now have been further apart today in early August than they were in early April. And now it's culminated in Micah Parsons issuing a trade request. It's gone viral. He's got teammates on Twitter supporting him. And there's more drama in Dallas.
Adam, I feel like
this
is crazy to even ask, but I'm going to ask you.
Ask.
Would the Cowboys actually trade Micah Parsons?
No. This is where
I've been trying to think
this is kind
of the last time that Jerry Jones traded a Pro Bowl caliber player
Herschel
away.
Walker.
And I cannot think of any. Now,
Herschel
there
Walker.
are comps out there. If you look at the time that the
Herschel
Raiders
Walker.
traded Khalil Mack to the Bears
Herschel
right
Walker.
before the season began in September for a couple of first-round picks and other compensation. That would be the closest comp.
Walker.
But Jerry Jones wants to win now. He's not looking to win in the future. He's not looking for future draft picks. And his history suggests that he won't be willing to make a trade here. Now, again, we have yet to hear from the Dallas Cowboys on how they feel about this particular situation. But we've now seen all three disgruntled contractual players, Micah Parsons, Terry McLaurin, and Trey Hendrickson, request a trade at some point either this offseason or this summer. And it's one thing to actually make the request. It's another to see it come to fruition. Could it happen? Yes. Everybody of every other team would love to acquire any one of these players. But for it to actually happen takes an awful lot because you've got to satisfy the player with his contract and the team that is trading him away.
All right, Adam, thanks so much for all of the context here. Just incredible out of you. We appreciate you.
I'm going to pause it right there for a moment. And here's what I'm going to say. I don't know. Let me say this because you're saying Walker wasn't a Pro Bowler when they traded him. Of a player of Micah Parsons' ilk. And I think as we stand here today, I think that might have been the biggest trade. Now, correct me if I'm wrong. I could be wrong. I could be having amnesia like Adam Schefter. But I can't think of a bigger trade that was ever made than Herschel Walker. That was bigger than Khalil Mack's trade. Got to tell you, way bigger. I think it was definitely bigger than Trey Lance's trade that they did for that. But if you can find a bigger trade of a player that was a current NFL player, I'm all ears, because there was not anything bigger than that. So where do we stand right now? At the moment, I'm going to say, there's more to this that I do want to play. But I'm going to say, first of all, let me say hello to all the lovely ladies in the place with the style and grace, because I see Holly Pierce. What's up, Holly? I see Stacy Schubert in the house. What's up, Stacy? How are you doing? And I see Gina Dallas Diva. What's up, girl? How are you doing? And on that, I also see Gary Bookwater. I see Red Eye. I see A13 Vega Vargas, Eric Williams, and as opposed to Alan Williams, we got Eric Williams, and we got Hector. Over on the other channel, we got Sugar Daddy, we got Grony, we got Jason Evans, JD 1965, Sugar Daddy's in the house, Jeff Lee. My name is Jeff. And I have 3. Trey Parsons, I'm okay with that. Let's get good pieces to help us get better. I'm going to get to that right away. You're right, Mark. Retro Games, what's going on, Chris May? Dan the man, Mark. Looks like attack on Cowboys YouTuber has been brought up by Jerry Jones' latest opinion on this. Pathetic. So he's taking the Jones side? Okay. This tune has changed now in Dallas. I want to get to, because you got my man is literally saying how this has just changed how he feels about the Cowboys season going forward. William Barnley, Growley. If you guys see Lady Libra, make sure you let me know, because I've got something special for her. Lamar Davis, get over it already. Lamar, shut up. Shut up, you troll. Okay, so here's where we are. We are the Joneses. Okay, look. You see the shirt? Shout out to Miss Tracy. Work harder. What happens is this. There's an old saying, don't take my kindness as a weakness. What, you mean opposite to me? Alan Williams, we have Eric Willis. We have Alan Williams and we have Eric Willis. Okay, so, yeah, opposite of you. Shout out to you there. And shout out to Chris May for his super chat. I appreciate all those super chats, and I'll try and make sure. What we're going to start doing, and I will start it this weekend, is we're going to get back to all the super chats are going to start going in the hopper, and we're going to be giving stuff away, because, that's what we do here. And I appreciate all the super chats. I appreciate the channel members. I appreciate all you guys. And it is just hitting the like button and subscribing to the channel. All those things are great things. So here's where I kind of took a deep breath. I took a step back, and then I started thinking, which is always dangerous, okay? I'm just joking with you, Mark. Appreciate it. Man, yeah, please joke with me. Jerry Jones and the rest of the NFC East smoking on that Micah Parsons pack. Yeah, everybody is literally Daniel Hernandez, hey, what's going on? What's happening? Micah Parsons has said, I'm sick of this shit. Trade me. I am done with the Dallas Cowboys. You guys have been messing around. And he went out here. Because, see, here's what I'm going to tell you is Micah Parsons is media savvy. He ain't the president of Bleacher Report for nothing. It's because he knows how to talk the talk and walk the walk. And so you ain't take a deep breath. You drank. I took one shot. And it wasn't really, I sipped the shot, dude. Come on, man. Stop putting shit in my mouth. Ace Money. How much money will Micah lose not being a Cowboy, though? That is a great point, because Ace Money, if Micah had not been a Dallas Cowboy, I don't know that anybody care about his podcast. I'll be real with you. But because he's got that platform, and you just pointed out probably the biggest thing, Ace Money, appreciate the super chat, man. Thank you, man. I love you, man. Okay, you pointed that out, because if Micah Parsons got traded to, say the Jets or Tampa Bay, is everybody going to follow him? Is everybody going to care? No, not the same way. Not the same way. No. And here's where you push a person to the point of they say enough is enough. Enough is enough. And see, the Joneses have figured, well, shit, well, we can play with Micah. You know, Micah has already said, you know, if they don't believe in your worth, that he's going to work harder. Well, Daddy, well, maybe if we go ahead and keep playing this game, he'll work even harder and try and get that Super Bowl, and we won't pay him, right? They've gone through, and they've done strategic things to kind of like fuck with them. I'm sorry, Dad. Forgive me, Dad. But that's exactly what they've been doing. They've been effing with them, okay? They've gone through and they've been basically, you know, you heard Jerry talking about, well, you know, players been injured. You know, Dak missed half the season last year. You know, Diggs ain't working out. You know, maybe I shouldn't have paid Diggs and Terrence Steele when I did. And just because I pay Micah Parson doesn't mean he's going to play every game. That, you know, he missed 6 games. It's like, Jerry, it was 4. It was 4, Jerry. And Jerry, he was still all pro and still had 12.5 sacks and 25% of your pressures of your team. Oh, shit. Oh, shit. So don't act like he didn't perform for your team. Don't act like it. So, I mean, I don't necessarily agree with you, Jerry, but if that's your case, then explain to me then how you pay Jake Ferguson. How do you pay Jake Ferguson? Oh, Logan Motorsport, I got something to show you. And you're going to be mad that you're not getting it. You're going to be mad. Okay. But Jerry Jones has basically been picking at it and stuff, you know. And then Stephen Jones, he's trying to be just like his dad. Oh, well, you know, Micah, you know, he's got to want to get paid. You mean you want him to take a shitty deal that you don't want him to run past his agent? Is that what you're doing? Okay, so Holly Pierce, High Nasty, and Logan Motorsports. Wait a minute, Jeff's not in the top 3? What the hell's going on here? Alan Williams is in 3rd place. Chris Mays in 2nd. Who the heck is in 1st? If it's not Jeff Lee, my name is Jeff, making him look like a joke. So Micah Parsons, understanding social media, made the case that, listen, I'm not greedy. I was willing to take less money and leave money on the table. And he made the case of all of the time in the time frames. So if you're Jerry Jones, how do you counter that? How do you counter that? Pamela Savage. What's up, Pamela? Trade Parsons, too much drama. Well, here's the problem with trading Parsons. Okay? I want to tell you a little story, okay? Let me tell you a little story here about the New Orleans Saints that was so infatuated with one player. Mike Ditka wanted Ricky Williams. Do you know what they did for Ricky to get Ricky Williams? Do you know? Do you know? What they did was they went to the Commanders and said, listen, we want your pick, and we'll give you all of our draft picks for this year. Oh, shit! Oh, shit! Who would not take that deal? Wait a minute, you're going to tell me you're going to give me 7 picks for my number 1 pick? 7 picks. 7 picks. 7 picks. Okay. And guess what happened? Every single one of those picks for the Commanders sucked ass. They had a whole nother team's draft class and their own. And they sucked ass with the picks. Did absolutely nothing. So, hypothetically, let's say you trade Micah Parsons to the Eagles. Well, first of all, it's probably going to be contenders that want Micah Parsons. And Micah Parsons is going to make that team better. So now what you're talking about, like let's say it was the Eagles. Well, the Eagles drafted 32nd. So really, if you're trading to a good team, you're talking about a player, your draft picks being late in the draft. You're not talking about, the Tennessee Titans being the number one pick. Oh, here, we'll give you that pick. No, it's going to be late first round picks, which are almost seconds. And what if you get Mozzie Smith and Tyler Guyton with those two picks? Do you look at Mozzie Smith and Tyler Guyton right now and say, that's Micah Parsons? That's as good as Micah Parsons? Because there's another old saying. See, I'm old. So that's why I have all these old sayings. Now, most of y'all don't really see birds anymore. The birds are dying out, okay? And it's sad. It's sad. But the old saying is, a bird in the hand, that you got one in your hand, beats the two in the bush because you ain't going to catch those in the bush. They're going to fly away, and you're going to end up with nothing. A bird in the hand beats two in the bush. And let me ask you this. As good as the Cowboys have been at drafting, giving Will McClay 7 picks would be different, though. But nobody's giving you a whole draft for Micah Parsons. The Commanders were the only dumbass team in the world to do some stupid shit like that. Okay? You might get 2 number ones. You might get 2 number ones. But let me ask you this. If we take all of the number one picks, how many of them, in say the last 15 years, how many of them do you look and say, yeah, that's better than Micah Parsons? How many of them do you? I mean, maybe you say Tyler Smith because he's an offensive lineman. He's really good. Do you take CeeDee Lamb over Micah Parsons? Do you take Zeke? You take Taco? Players like that, Jerry's not going to get fair trade for Micah. And herein lies the other problem there too, JD 1965. In the same way they suck at negotiating contracts, they suck at trading the players. You remember Amari Cooper, they traded for a 5th round. I believe Cleveland turned around and traded him years later after running him in the ground for a 3rd. They get fleeced. I imagine Cowboys would want a great player in return with a couple of picks. Walker Wade, trade for Simmons and Tennessee's first pick, one technique. I hear you, Walker Wade, but here's the reality of it. Micah hasn't changed his Instagram stuff. He's still got, as far as I know, last I checked, still got his Cowboy stuff on there. What this is making his case in the court of public opinion. Putting the Jones on notice to give them a sense of urgency, to let them know, you're not going to push me around anymore. Okay? I'm done being Mr. Nice Guy. Okay? I've been here. I've made the case that, I'm the best that there is on the team. I deserve my money. You've paid other guys that are lesser talents. You're going to pay me. And you're going to stop disrespecting me in public. And quite frankly, and if you listen to Mark Holmes in the Joe Booth Sports Report and you don't think that I'm an idiot, I think I said that the Joneses should hurry up and get this thing done before Micah Parsons gets the attitude of, don't take my kindness as weakness. At some point, he would get fed up. Well, it took longer than I thought it would, but he's at the point of being fed up. So let's go back to this clip because Swagoo says some really important things. Ace money. Oh, shit. Mike is on the verge of losing more money in the long run because of being a Cowboy player itself gives you the highest earning potential in the long run. Just something to think about. Shout out to Ace. My Ace. You my Ace. You my dog. You my dog, man. Damn, Ace. On a day of bad news. That's some good news there, man. Thank you. What have we won without Micah? There you go. This is why Mark wasn't invited to Jerry Jones's party. I've gone to parties with Jerry Jones, man. Brock Turdy. I actually have. NFL commissioner parties. I've been there. I think I've seen Jerry 5 times there at commissioners' parties. But you do you, bro, Brock Turdy. You do you. Let's go back to the tape here.
That statement. It was lengthy, 592 words to be exact, posted on Twitter. Parson said in part, yes, I wanted to be here. I did everything I could to show that I wanted to be a Cowboy and wear the star on my helmet. You sense the past tense there. Unfortunately, I no longer want to be here. I no longer want to be held to closed-door negotiations without my agent present. I no longer want shots taken at me for getting injured while laying it on the line for the organization, our fans, and my teammates. I had purposely stayed quiet in hopes of getting something done. Up to today, the team has not had a single conversation with my agent about a contract. Not one demand has been made by my agent about money, years, or anything else. Still, I stayed quiet. But again, after repeated shots at myself and all the narratives I have made a tough decision, I no longer want to play for the Dallas Cowboys. My trade request has been submitted to Stephen Jones personally. Oh my, Marcus Spears demanded to be on the show today. Some airtime after seeing that Micah post. Swagoo, you've done business in Dallas. What do you make of all this?
So initially, Boogie, I had the emotional reaction because y'all know how I am when it comes to the Cowboys. And I start thinking about like through history. And here recently we had Myles Garrett do the same thing. So once I got
turned around real quick,
I stopped cussing everybody out in the facility of the Dallas Cowboys, I started thinking about, all right, so this is a negotiation tactic. That's the first thing that came to my mind. And it kind of settled me on the isolated Micah Parsons and Dallas Cowboys in this route right now where we've seen this happen, not only with Dak Prescott, not only with CeeDee Lamb, but as I read his soliloquy, and as I focused on one part of those that I excerpted one part out of that, I tried to negotiate and it didn't matter. And I was not waiting for all of the other guys to get their money. This lies the problem. It's a 2-part thing for me. 1, 2 months ago, I was in the airport headed to a basketball tournament with my son. Dude walks up and says, man, how you think we gonna be this year? It's Cowboy fans everywhere. I said, you know what? I feel good about it because it's quiet. I was like, it's not a lot going on. Usually those type of off seasons lead to Dallas having a formidable season and potentially making a playoff run. I was optimistic about what the Cowboys potentially could be this year, which if Micah gets signed, I'm back to optimism as far as on the field. But the thing is this, and this is what I've been saying, and Boogie, you and I have been doing this forever, and we about to start another football season. People have to understand how much this affects a football team that is trying to focus on winning. We have these conversations every damn year about the Cowboys. It's always some sort of noise that does not play into actually winning football games.
This is the
so
truth.
As opposed to me going crazy and losing my ish on TV with the contract negotiation, I'm not going to lose my mind. Shefty has been doing this longer than anybody. He's the best in the business. He usually has a feel for these things. I circle back to what I said. Myles Garrett requested a trade. I thought that was going to be it in Cleveland.
And he ends
up
there.
signing a whopping $40+ million a year salary deal. Hopefully, that is what Micah and his agent David Mulligetta is doing. But Lord have mercy, do we have a problem if he's serious? Do we have a problem if you can't get this back to where he is actually wearing that uniform? He's the best player on the team. On a team that is absolutely going to need him with a brand new head coach. But here's the other issue I have. Why can't we ever just have a normal offseason with training camp, get ready for the season, go into the season and play football games? And I don't want to hear it. Everybody here always tries to tell me, Swag, calm down. It's going to get fixed. Don't worry about the contract. This stuff affects the winning. It affects the team and how they actually play football. So I don't want to hear it this year. I've watched them implode. I've watched us lose playoff games. And then we get to the offseason, and guess what we do, Boogie? What's the definition of a damn fool? Doing something over and over again and thinking something is going to change. So here we are again, like last year with CeeDee Lamb, like the year previously with Dak Prescott. Here we are again with the marquee star on the defensive side of the football, and it's going to lead to us having a conversation sometime in November and December about why the hell the Dallas Cowboys not a contender to get into the playoffs.
Okay, so you started out where you weren't losing it.
So long.
And then you lost it.
You did lose it, which is really what I was waiting for. And I knew we'd get you there, Swagoo. I knew it somehow, some way. Okay, we're going to bring Courtney Cronin and Kevin Clark in here because I want to get y'all's thought on this as well. But first, I do want to show you some of what you heard Adam referencing as well as Marcus referencing there. How about this from CeeDee Lamb? Never fails, dog. Just pay the man what you owe him. No need for the extracurricular. My goodness. You see the teammates posting on X there. Their new profile pictures are Micah Parsons. They're protesting. Even doing that thing you can do where you said new profile picture so everybody sees it, right? This is wild. I want to go first to Courtney here on just maybe the distraction side of all of this. I mean, we know the Cowboys are going to have a certain level of distraction every single season, but as Marcus alluded to, they're trying to get ready under a new head coach. How do you think this affects everything going on with the team?
New head coach and new defensive coordinator. Good point. So more on that in a minute, but I need somebody to go to the Cowboys facility and remove every copy of 48 Laws of Power that are in every front office because this is not the way you conduct business. And I know that there is something to be said about Jerry Jones being the GM and owner, and he did it for so long. It's worked because eventually these deals get done. With players in this day and age, in an era of player empowerment, you're seeing it so much more in professional sports, particularly in the NFL. You can't do business this way anymore. It's a bad method, and it creates bad blood within the locker room, within the team. We saw this with CeeDee Lamb, with Dak Prescott. And the statement that Micah Parsons put out, that got really personal. He was talking about Jerry Jones calling him out for his injuries and talking about, well, why would I want to pay a player that's been injured in the certain instances in which he has. He talks about going into Jerry's office to talk about leadership, and all of a sudden a leadership conversation turns into something about negotiations where his agent isn't even present. He's made comments about his agent, David Mulligetta, acting like he has no clue who one of the most powerful agents in sports is. These are all pot shots that could have absolutely been avoided. And Jerry has talked about doing business right. And, I don't mind costing myself more money just as long as we get the deal done. I can remember a time last December, Laura,
that's why I'm playing this whole
Micah
thing.
Parsons
They are
told
100%
Todd Archer
right
that there's not much of a difference between $30 and $40 million. They could have done this months ago, right? And smoothed all of this over.
And he
to the
wanted
point
it done
where
months ago.
You get sports and you get business. You have it. It's not an issue anymore. But now they've created something. Toothpaste is out of the tube. And I don't know how you end up remedying this unless you're going to give him the $43 million bag, which they clearly don't want to do right now.
Yeah, and it just doesn't feel like after a statement like this, to your point, some of the personal shots that have been taken on both sides here, this is easily rehabbed. The other thing about this, Kevin, and Courtney's alluding to this, okay, you draft really well. You develop this player. He was already uber talented. Pay him early. Get it done. Why does this happen with the Cowboys?
Why does this happen with the Cowboys? That is a great question, Laura. When I think about the Eagles in that division, they have the best roster in football right now. Howie Roseman said it a couple weeks ago.
Brooks, come on, man. This chick is hot with the Eagles green on. Come on, man. Thank you for the super chat, but come on, man. Damn, does it have to be the Eagles green?
They do three things. They draft, they develop, they sign. They do all of those things as quickly as they can.
Yes,
and that's the
but
reason
we're
they
the
want to
Cowboys.
maximize their roster.
We screw
that's the
things
reason
up.
that they have four guys who are being paid as top-tier players who are making as much as the top two players on the Cowboys because the Cowboys do not maximize their salary cap. Okay, that is the way Jerry Jones does business. And people say, oh, he's always done this. That's worse, right? That makes it worse. God. And people say, okay, well, there's an element of professional wrestling. Well,
my God. Hallie Pierce. At least we don't have to wonder why they haven't paid Micah yet anymore. Now they're going to be on Micah signed alert. I'm tired. Wouldn't be surprised if protesters go to the Star picketing. Damn, Holly. Yeah, you know what? It's redunculous.
Sometimes
we're almost finished with
professional wrestlers get hurt, and that's what happens in these sort of scenarios. Is you get into a situation where you think we're playing the game, we're just trying to generate headlines. Well, guess who's not trying to play the game? Micah Parsons. He's trying to get paid. He is the type of player where if you lose him, you are looking to replace him for a decade or longer. 25% of the team's pressures last year were from Micah Parsons. By the way, he missed 4 games. That should not be happening. He is their defense. They have to improve in that regard, and they have to have him on the field. This is embarrassing. Every summer we go through something like this. Jerry Jones, I know this sounds crazy, but you got to change a little bit, buddy.
Yeah, Marcus, you know Jerry. I mean, does Jerry like doing this? I know he likes the attention maybe, but this to me is so mind-boggling that you wouldn't just find a way to pay your best player on the team. What do you think just from the personal side of it, right? Because I think that's a big factor here.
Boogie, therein lies the problem. I'm sick of saying it. This is Jerry. This is what he does. Yeah. This is who he is. We get on this damn TV and we make excuses for dumb decision making.
Dumb shit.
And we've been doing it year after year after year. And
this is a time that it hurts me to actually say that ESPN is 100% right, okay? Jerry, you've had your fun with this thing. You vilified him. You told us he's not worth it and everything else. Bro, he is. Let me give you an example here, okay? I want you to think about this for a second because I know what y'all say. Well, he's only had 1 sack in the playoffs. Well, let's play devil's advocate here. When you played San Francisco and Jimmy G only had like 140 yards passing, but they had, almost 200 yards on the ground, how much did they really pass and how many opportunities did he actually have to sack the quarterback? I mean, quite frankly, we couldn't stop the run, and so you're not getting that many opportunities. But be that as it may, I want you to think about this. Micah Parsons has played 4 years, 63 games. In that 63 games, he has 52 and a half sacks. Friends, it's almost a sack a game. To put that in perspective, of all of the players, every single player that has played for the Dallas Cowboys and had sacks on the team, he is 7th right now with 63 games. I think about Ed Too Tall Jones as one of the greatest Dallas Cowboys ever. That's the next person on the list for Micah Parsons with 57. He's only 5 sacks ahead of Micah Parsons. Do you know how many games it took Ed Too Tall Jones with a doomsday defense to get 57 sacks? 120 games to Micah Parsons' 63. Tony Tolbert, another one Micah Parsons should catch this year, has 59. You know how many games it took Tony Tolbert to get that? 144. D-Law has 61. Another player that Micah should catch this year. It took 141 games for D-Law. Now, I don't know that he'll catch Greg Ellis. It would have to be one hell of a season. But you could see him getting 15 sacks. That's possible. He could get to Greg Ellis, who's number 3 on the list. And it took Greg Ellis 162 games. So for people out there who seem to think that Micah Parsons is a bum, he is generational, guys. Quentin, shut up. Smack yourself, Quentin. Tell me, Quentin, who the hell on the Dallas Cowboys is showing up in the playoffs? Please, by all means, tell me who has shown up on. It's certainly not the interior defensive line because we get run on every single time. It's not the secondary because they ain't stopping anybody. I've seen George Kittle tip-tap ball when Diggs should have gotten an interception or at least knocked it away. It's certainly not Zeke, who averages less than 30 yards a game with the exception of the Green Bay Packers one his first year. It wasn't Tony Pollard, who never had more than 30 yards, except for the last year he had 52. It wasn't the Dallas Cowboys offensive line. Because I remember against San Francisco, the team had 14 penalties and gave up 5 sacks on their quarterback. So if you're going to sit here and say, well, he wasn't the only reason that they lost the playoff games. The team sucked ass. Why? Because look, let me give you a truth bomb here. Quentin, you know how many sacks Charles Haley had in the playoffs in his career? Here's an interesting one. 1. Let me double check on this. But I think he only had 1 in his career with the Cowboys. Charles, let me make sure. Because we're sitting there acting like Charles Haley had 10 sacks a game. And that's my homeboy. That's my homeboy. And you better not say nothing bad about Charles Haley. Charles Haley stats. Let me go to Pro Football. The boys at Pro Football Reference here. In his career, he had 100.5 sacks. In playoffs. Playoffs? Don't talk about playoffs. Are you kidding me? Playoffs? In sacks for the Dallas Cowboys, he had 1 sack in 92. He had 1.5 sacks in 93. And he had 1 sack in 95. And that is, 9 games. 9 games. He had 3.5 sacks. 3.5 sacks in 9 games. Micah Parsons has played in 4 games and had 1? Not far off, bro. Not far off. And when you think of the opportunities that Micah Parsons has had because teams just run the freaking ball and he's the only guy out there, it makes it a little bit harder. And, Mark, I've been watching you since 21. If you know anything about Khalil Mack trade, I would consider the Cowgirls do that and get it over with. Go Birds. Yeah, but here's the thing. Let me ask you this. What did it do for the Raiders to get rid of Khalil Mack? Did it make them Super Bowl contenders? I'll wait. Were they a better team when they got rid of Khalil Mack? I'll wait. They got all the draft picks. Did they do great things with it? I'll wait. Like I pointed out, the Commanders got every pick from the New Orleans Saints so that way they could draft Ricky Williams. And not a single player of that was of any ilk. There's no guarantee that just because you have picks that they're going to end up being great. Thank you, though, Lamar. You're a troll, but I appreciate the super chat, man. Has anybody seen Lady Libra? Where's Lady Libra? Where's Lady Libra? I need to see Lady Libra. Hey, what's Ronald Davis? Good to see you tonight. Don't worry, they will keep. They will keep Parsons. But see, you got to understand here. You have to understand what Micah Parsons and Jerry Jones have done. They have taken over the NFL sports cycle that is probably bridging over beyond just sports in the NFL. They understand what they're doing. It's Hall of Fame weekend. Is anybody talking about the Hall of Fame game yesterday in Trey Lance? Is anybody talking about, tomorrow's going to be the speeches at the Hall of Fame? Anybody talking about the Eagles in the Super Bowl? Here's the thing. Freddie Sports, I hear what you're saying, that he can't stop the run. But that's where, when you understand that you have a guy who can get 25% of your pressures, there's 11 guys out on the field, he's getting 25%. Okay? 25% of your team's pressures. What you look at with this, and see, here's the thing that people don't understand too. Depending on how the defense is called, here's the thing. If you're going to be a run stopper, what you have to do is you got to be on the line of scrimmage. Do you know for a fact that the team says, Micah Parsons, we want you to take one step and we want you to hold the line right there. We want you to stop the run. That's what we want you to do with your job. Okay? Right? Or does the defensive coordinator say, listen, you are Dirty Sanchez. Anybody going to talk about the banner raising when we kick the Kegels if this keeps up? Philly, shout out. Philly D. This is not a bash and Dak. Old Eagle fans saw incredible teams in the 80s. Players had to sue Eagles owners, and the great Jerome Brown died and lost Reggie. The Jones have turned your team into a circus. Shout out to you, Philly D. Appreciate the super chat. But here's the thing. When you have a guy that's like Micah Parsons, who is kind of small to be an edge rusher, but can get pressure, you don't know if the defense calls and says, here's what we want you to do every time is we want you to put pressure in the backfield. We want your first responsibility to get upfield and rush the passer. We'll have the other 10 guys take care of the run stopping, but we need you to wreak havoc. Do you know for a fact that that's not what they're doing with the defense? That's not his responsibility? Because I'm betting that's exactly what they're trying to do is we want you to constantly be in the backfield, which is contrary to stopping the run. That's the whole fact, Philly D. That's a team stat, my whole point. Dan, you think there's nothing the team could possibly offer that's worth Parkins? Pay the man. Nobody cares about the Eagles, period. Charles was good. But here's the thing you got to understand. It wasn't just Charles, though. You had Dion back there. You had Woodson back there at safety. You had guys like Chad Henning and Tony Casillas there. Tony Tolbert. You had Ken Norton Jr. You had a loaded defense, so Charles didn't have to be the run stopper and the guy putting pressure on the quarterback. And when you looked at that defense last year, who else did you see on that defense of any ilk? Seriously. We lost all of our other edge rushers. It was basically Micah Parsons. And when he was injured, you saw, oh, shit. Not now. I can't do this. I can't do Philly 500 right now. Philly, I can't do you right now. I just can't. No, Philly, no. If you have any decency, Philly 500, leave me alone. Leave me alone. Leave me alone. Am I not human? Do I not bleed? Come on. Why you gotta hit me while I'm down? No. Come on, man. Leave me. Leave me alone, Philly. Don't start me drinking. No, that is the real Allen. That's the real one. He's got the check mark. He's got the check mark and he's got the wrench. That is the real Philly 500. Leave me alone, Philly. Leave me alone. Yeah, I do need a bucket for my tears. I do. All right. Cooler heads are going to prevail. cooler heads will prevail. This is nothing new. This is D-Law, where Cap Boy said, hey, DeMarcus, we owe you $26 million on the cap, and we don't want to take that cap hit. So how about we just go ahead and say we'll give you $10 million guaranteed, and we'll call it even. And he said, bitch, please release me. Let me go and get the hell out of my way. And he ran to Daddy. Jerry, Dad. I think I kind of screwed the pooch there on D-Law. He's kind of mad right now because I said we'll just give him $10 million guaranteed and call it a day. Breaking news: Mike is going to the Seattle Seahawks. Ha ha. Yeah, we had that one going. Okay, to every team in the NFL. Dirty Sanchez. They're going to announce Parsons' deal has been done either the day before or the day after the first game. Don't be surprised. Well, here's the thing. Now, Mike has put him on blast, right? But, they can't go through. And I had a conversation like this, actually, with my beautiful bride, is because if the Cowboys now go through and they go ahead and get a deal done the next 2 days, then they're setting a precedent. They're setting a precedent that all you got to do is put us on blast, and we're going to be punk-ass bitches, and we're going to turn over and, do that. So they can't do it right away. They may be scared and saying, oh, shit. Well, because here's what supposedly happened per 105 The Fan. They said that when Micah came in and went to Stephen Jones and said, you know what, here you go. I'm done. I want to trade. That Stephen Jones apologized to him for his comments and so on. Like, he didn't realize that you're taking this stuff personal. You damn right I am. Because if I'm Micah, here's where it sucks. The Cowboys, I think Holly Pierce gave me this, and somebody else did before. But basically, they said when a player gets guaranteed money, what the team has to do is put the money in escrow. And when it's in escrow, you can't get interest on it. So let's say you give, I think T.J. Watt got $108 million guaranteed. If you take $100 million and you got it in the bank and it's getting interest from the offseason to now, it's made about $15 million. Now, in the grand scheme of things, that's really chump change for the Joneses. But that's what they do every year. So when you start saying, they did that with Dak, his guaranteed money, $200 million, well, that's, about an extra $40 million that they got on Dak. CD, another $15 million. So you can start to see that before you know it, it's a couple $100 million because they do this. But see, if I'm Micah Parsons or a player, I'd like to get my money beginning of the summer so that way I can go house shopping. If I want to go buy myself a new house, maybe I want to go on a nice world tour or something. I might want to go ahead and start a car collection. I want to be able to take my money that I've earned and go out and do something with it before I get tied up with football. Because from here on out until at least January, you don't have a life. Your life is football. Sunday's games. Monday is hoping I can get out of bed and I'm doing treatment. Tuesday is my off day. Okay, I get a day off. Okay, but I'm still hurting like shit. Wednesday is back to work and practice. Thursday and Friday. Saturday's a travel day or spending in a hotel with the teammates. And Sunday's a game. And that's every single week with the exception of your bye week. Miss Gibson's in the house. Shout out to Miss Gibson. And Linda's back. And Linda's back. All right. I don't know where Lady Lieber. Oh, did Philly 500 actually go and leave me alone? Did he actually or is he going to make a video on me crying? I know there's no crying in football. But I have to do this. I have to do this for Miss Tracy because Miss Tracy has been putting in the work and getting shit done. And I know we got Logan Motorsports here. So let me grab something. Here. Hold on. Oh, man. So let me say shout out to Jeff Lee. My name is Jeff. Okay. Now, Jeff Lee has been a winner multiple times. Okay. And so he ended up giving his winning to Lady Libra, who's not here. I don't know where she is. And she said she wanted to get a Dak Prescott shirt. Now, because of licensing and all that, I can't sell that shirt. But I'm going to give this one to her, okay? This is one, Miss Tracy, fresh off the prints. Always thank your mom. Because she said, I want a Dak Prescott shirt. Okay. Philly's publishing the video as we speak. I'm sure he is. All right. I was excited about the team and talking about how we are bringing back the black sheep, okay? Now, for those of you who are old like me, you probably watch Baa Baa Black Sheep, so this will resonate with you. Now, look at this. Black Sheep Unite. Look at that. Look at that. Okay. So I'm calling all of the first-round drafted players of ours that are not, weren't thought of really well, that we're putting together and becoming Black Sheep. Well, Felix Blood Show, how about you kiss my ass? Nobody said you had to like it. This one is actually perfectly fitting here. Okay? I timed out the guy getting personal with Mark. I missed it. But thank you, Linda. I appreciate it. Right, Holly, that's the shirt right there. Okay, so what we're actually looking at is maybe this is Major League. One last time, basically, Micah Parson is saying, and we got the owners that is definitely an asshole, and so it's us against them. Win the whole effing thing. Look at the football. Ah! And that's even Charlie Sheen's glasses. It's got the cross and got the bones and skull on it. Okay? Jeez. And then this one is completely fitting. Jerry and Stephen Jones. I should be wearing that one tonight. Oh, it's okay. That's cool. And then we've got another Black Sheep one. Boom. Boom, boom. So, definitely, Parsons being treated badly. This is not right. Well, that's why I've got work harder and stuff on it. Okay? And then, of course, for Logan Motorsports, who won, but I can't send him the shirt. Okay? He's having me send this to Drew. What he said was he wanted a shirt with my teeth kicked in. And so I immediately thought of Alfred E. Newman, okay, with Missing Tooth from Mad Magazine. Here we go. If you really look at it, you'll see the egg right there. It's Philly 500. I have to wear a green jacket, and I got birds and animals all over it. Okay? Jeff Lee, he got his shirt. Okay, so that's what Miss Tracy's doing, and right now, who is in the lead for tonight? Ace? Who's Ace? Ace Money right now is the one that's in the lead. So if Ace Money stays, hold on. How the hell is it we got Ace Money, who's an Eagle fan, and Philly D as number 2? How the hell do we have Eagle fans as 1 and 2 place and Dirty Sanchez as 3rd? Seriously. I don't want to be giving shit to Eagle fans. Come on, man. Cowboy fans. We can't let Eagle fans show us up on our own platform. That just ain't right. Philly D said, I'm just about to get the lead. Send Dak one shirt. The shirt values has depreciated. Oh, God. No one will pass Ace Money. Let's go. Brock Turdy. I like that one. Yeah, okay. So it's the timing. And as far as this one, I think it's actually pretty funny. I have to have a laugh. Cowboy fans are scared. Mark, you are wallowing in your misery, bro, because Cowboy fans are weeping. Super chats help out a lot. Shout out to Dirty Sanchez, who's trying to move on up. See, Dirty Sanchez is at number 2. Come on, Dirty, please, Dirty, please, don't let him take it. Dirty, come on, man, don't let him take it. Don't let Ace Money hold on to it. Come on, Dirty. I'll pay you to win. I'll send you the money. Come on, man. No, it's okay. If Ace Money wins it, I appreciate the support, I guess, from an Eagle fan. As we go through here's the bottom line. God, I can't believe how fast that time went. Thank you, Jerry Jones, for making my show go by real quick because we have all kinds of shit to talk about because you're such a jackass. Oh, I'm sorry. Did I say that? Did I say that out loud? Okay. And that's what I meant. JJ Rock, go Birds. Go to hell. How about that? Oh, my goodness. Holly Pierce sent 5 gift memberships. Damn. Shout out to you, Holly. Okay. Screw you, Dirty. Okay. All right. We got a fight going on in here. Oh, my God, Dirty. Just keep your Diddy oil warm. I'm coming. No pun intended. Just keep your Diddy oil warm. I'm coming. No intended. Oh, no pun intended. Oh, my God. You guys are crazy. You're crazy. But in the grand scheme of things, listen. Here's the reality. Micah Parsons can, stop on the social media with his Cowboy stuff. He can, I'm almost ready for you. Oh, Lordy, Philly. Well, Philly, I don't know if you saw this one. Okay. An Eagle fan won, and here's what Miss Tracy did. She merged me with Alfred E. Newman. And if you look closely, you'll see your bird with an egg that says Philly 500. Yeah. In the grand scheme of things, Micah Parsons can have a hissy fit all he wants to. The reality of it is the Cowboys don't have to do anything. He can be a distraction. He can, pound his chest. Better rapper, Mr. P or Master Bader. Oh, my goodness. Okay, Master P. The reality is other than having a fit, there's nothing he can really do. And the Cowboys, they don't have to do anything. And the Cowboys, well, they could technically franchise tag him next year. I think it's 28 million. And basically they have him for 2 years for $25 million. But they're going to get this deal done. It's always darkest before the dawn. And we saw what happened with Myles Garrett. Myles Garrett was ugly, right? I'm going to say TJ Watt was ugly. And then they both got paid. Everything's done. Mike Fisher heard from his source that Parsons is not asking for a trade. Well, according to his brother, it came directly from him. And he basically went to, the reports are, I hear you about Mike Fisher, but the reports are he went to Stephen Jones and handed him, here is exactly the timeline. So how do you go ahead and get that timeline if you didn't ask for a trade? Super chat as fast as you can. You can't catch me. I'm the Dirty Sanchez. Sanchez, I love you, man. I love you. You are so funny. Oh, my God. Every time I walk in, I see your brick, and I think, there's Dirty Sanchez right there. I'm stepping on Dirty Sanchez. I still kind of in the back of my mind wonder if this is high drama for your mama, that Jerry and Micah Parsons are both in on this to make this basically, the biggest, like April Fools in August. You know what I'm saying? April Fools in August. That literally, this is the biggest offseason story. Without a doubt. You got everybody. 5 years, $210 million, 180 fully guaranteed. It's simple. Let's hear for Dirty. Let's see, top fan. Up, Ace Money is still. Dirty Sanchez is coming up the rear. He's close. You're only 25 points away from Ace Money. I'm going to have to stay on a little longer to see if Dirty Sanchez can win it. Come on, Dirty. Come on. Come on, Dirty. Dirty, come on, man. You can do it, Dirty. Philly 500 Mark's has lost it. Mark's, I've lost it? Or you telling Philly I've lost it? Oh, he's going to have a ball. I know Philly 500 is going to have a ball. And I can't say I blame him. We are literally the joke of the NFL right now. We are, and deservingly so. We are the joke of the NFL, thanks to Jerry Jones. And we should be. That only the Cowboys could F this up. You got a generational talent. Confucius says, he who likes the smell of fish has a dirty girlfriend. Confucius says, he who likes the smell of fish has a dirty girlfriend. Okay. Okay. All right. Dirty. Dirty's in first place with the dirty fish. Yes. Yes. I don't have to have the Eagles make another crazy shirt for me. But Ace Buddy, I appreciate you, dog. I appreciate you. Philly D, I appreciate you. In fact, I appreciate everybody that's in here because you guys are keeping me from crying. Because there's no crying in football. But I will say, Philly 500 says the guy who wanted to fire Howie. Stupid. Yeah, we're pretty stupid. That's disgusting. Not nice about a woman. Slick Rick account is gone. Damn. Breaking news. Micah to the Seahawks. Okay. Come on, Bird Gang Super Chat. I'm here. Laugh out loud. Well, Dirty, you are our winner chicken dinner. Email me, Dirty, and tell me what shirt you want. Go to, and here's what everybody can do. Just do me a favor. Just do me a favor, okay? Go to cowboyjobu.com. Just go and look at all of the incredible designs that my beautiful bride has made. Because, we got the sublimation printer and everything else, which is great. But unless you know how to use it and how to be creative, and she's so creative, you can't do shit with it. And she has come up with some incredible designs. Like I said, this one, and maybe I need to put a fire sale on Micah Parson stuff because he might not be here for long. But this one right here, Work Harder, it's incredible. It's incredible. One Reed Super Bowl winning quarterback. Oh, yes. Linda, we still owe you a shirt, but you've never emailed me for your winnings. I want you to know that, Linda. It's not as disgusting as a dirty woman. It's only disgusting if you like the taste. Well, I mean, people like tuna fish, don't they? I love tuna fish myself. I'm just saying. People do eat fish on a regular basis. Breaking news, Jobu Sports is now the GM for the Dallas Cowboys. Cowboys win a Super Chat, but Eagles won the Super Bowl. I got mine autographed by Miss Tracy. And Jeff, you have the one and only autograph of Miss Tracy. I like that one, actually. Jerry Jones smells like mothballs. I really like that. In fact, I might tell Tracy about that one. So shout out to Dirty Sanchez. I appreciate you guys. Appreciate everybody being here. This is 2 live streams for the day. My email, cowboysmark94@gmail. Cowboysmark94. I'll tell you what, I'll put it up here. Let me type it in the chat. There you go, Dirty. Bam. Hurts and Nick Foles are very similar. How did Jake Ferguson with 494 yards and 0 touchdowns last year get paid? There you go. before Micah. Thank you. Thank you. That was a good stream. Logan, I'm glad you liked it, and I hope Drew likes the shirt. 5 years, 215. Rodney, how 5 years, 215 million, but 285 fully guaranteed? You're gonna give what? The math ain't mathing on that one, bro. Oh man, Jalen Hurts, 4 years, 2 Super Bowls, only 1 win. Make sure you say 1 win. All right, good people. I'm gonna get out of here. We're gonna turn out the lights, and I'm gonna go cry myself to sleep. As always, I appreciate you, and thanks a lot. You guys actually made it fun. It's at this point, I could cry, but I actually have to laugh at this shit because it's so bad that it's funny. And as a Cowboy YouTuber, I don't know what other teams have to do. I mean, Terry McLaurin says he wants to trade. Okay. It's a little, okay. If it's an earthquake, it was kind of like, that's it. Micah Parsons is like Mount St. Helens going off. Yeah. That's the difference between them. But we're going to turn out the lights, and we're going to see what we see tomorrow, because it's never a dull moment at being a Dallas Cowboys YouTuber. Thank you all. It's about to get worse, more funny. Yeah, I'm sure Philly 500. Hey, Philly, have your fun, man. You're supposed to. We're dumb enough to buy into the Cowboys, so nothing you can do about it. Peace out.
Turn out the lights, the party's over. They say that all good things must end. Call it a night. The party's over, and tomorrow and next year starts the same old thing again.